Ready.
All right, so who could forget the fight week at UFC 279 in September of 2022? Mass shuffle to the main card. That resulted in the first meeting between Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson, and tonight they arrive at the rematch.
They get a rematch against each other because both weren't prepared for each other the first time. Tony Ferguson feels he could have been better. Tony Ferguson feels like he could win this fight, but Nate Diaz says this was only the beginning. The gap will only be wider tonight as I face Tony Ferguson again. Time to see if that's the case.
All right, there's the leg kick. You expected he would employ them heavily here tonight, and maybe the boxer wants to go back to the sweet science after that one.
Yeah, he wants to box, he wants to look pretty, but this is mixed martial arts. You have got to use all of your tools. And by throwing those kicks, you are showing that this is an evolution of the fight game. We ain't boxing the squared circle. This is a mixed martial arts fight. Beautiful job. Very fast leg kick lands for him.
Slips the punch nicely there. Well, now for the opponent, you really got to be careful as Diaz is able to find a home for that right hand yet.
When Diaz starts landing the right hand, you have got to stay firm. You have got to dig your heels in the ground and say, no way you're going to just run me over. Easier said than done when you're facing Nathan Diaz.
Oh, nicely done there as he escapes back to his feet. He's always working off of that jab. Nice jab there by Diaz.
I am starting to lose track of how many punches this guy has landed to the head of his opponent. Oh, nice jab.
All right, so Nate Diaz able to weather some of that early storm, and he has really taken control of this fight, largely due to his boxing, as we come to expect.
Oh, he's an amazing boxer. He's very long with his strikes. He doesn't put everything on every punch. He's kind of hitting you with the pitter-patter. But then when it's time, he starts to really sit down on his strikes. We saw Nate Diaz throw a lot early to get to where we are right now, the moment where he tries to find a shot that will end his opponent's night.
All right, so now we start to see some bruising appearing on the torso, and all of that courtesy of the body work of his opponent.
Just the wherewithal to go to the body and the discipline to stay with that approach. I mean, it's just tremendous. You see a fighter with a high fight IQ following a game plan, and it's working.
So we call on the numbers here. These are unofficial, but 42 total strikes have landed for Nate Diaz. Ferguson's nose is bleeding now. Yes, looks as though he got cut by one of those offerings from his opponent. 10 seconds now in round one. Round two next. All right, so there's the end of the round. You see the blood trickling down as he makes his way back to the stool. Cut on the bridge of the nose, or so it appears from the strike in that round. Cut man getting right to work. All right, so now we have some real adversity. There's a cut on the nose. Hard to know if that's impacting the breathing, but some definite damage in that previous round.
Yeah, some real damage. And now when you get a cut like that, that is in a bad spot. Because every time you get hit on the nose, it's so jarring. And then the blood starts to go down into the mouth. He's got an uphill battle ahead of him.
And just like that, here we go with round two. Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson. All right, next round is now underway. Hopefully the action continues at a high level. Pretty good first 5 minutes.
Pretty good first 5 minutes. Both of them can really pick it up. Let's see who decides they're going to lead the dance as we go forward.
Beautiful strike there as he continues to attack that cut. Cut man's going to have some work to do if we get to the stool between them.
But that's why we got the best in the business. We got the best cut men in the business, and they are going to need him right now because this cut is getting worse, and it's only going to continue to get worse because he has got a killer in front of him.
Oh, nice slip there to avoid the punch by Ferguson. Nice connection there by Tony Ferguson. You're probably glad you never had to prepare for a fighter like this in your day.
I've never seen anything like that, and I'm not sure there's anyone like that going up in the weights. Tony Ferguson does not give you any idea of what you're facing. When you're in there, you're confused. He doesn't give you any type of pattern inside the octagon.
That one appeared to stun him.
Oh, right hand landed. There you go. Oh, he hurt him again.
Well, I'm no fighter, but if I rock a guy to that extent. I feel like I'm closing the show.
Absolutely. You gotta go close the show if you get a guy hurt that bad. You cannot back off and take your time. He's right for the picture.
Ferguson's cut on his nose is just pouring blood at this point. You wonder if that's impacting his breathing by now. That's it!
Oh, my goodness!
I mean, you gotta be kidding me with that knockout. If that is not the #1 play on SportsCenter tonight, I'm not sure what would